The world is moving faster than the news cycle can keep up with. Right now, we are seeing a collision between ancient regional conflicts, high-stakes constitutional battles, and a digital revolution that is fundamentally changing how soldiers fight and how businesses think. Today, we aren't just looking at the headlines. We're looking at how these global events actually change the way we live, work, and prepare. Because when the world gets loud, the best thing you can do is get ready.
The Middle East pressure cooker. Let's start with the Middle East, where the distance between a ceasefire and combat has never felt thinner. Despite massive international diplomatic efforts, the violence between Israel and forces in Lebanon has not stopped. In a single 24-hour window recently, at least 47 people were killed in Israeli attacks on Lebanon. This isn't just about local skirmishes. It's about a total stall in U.S.-Iran negotiations. It shows that regional stability is tied directly to high-level geopolitical talks that just aren't moving. For anyone watching the Eastern Mediterranean, this means rising risks for international supply chains and energy security. When you're looking at these types of urban disruptions, the just-in-time supply chain starts to look very fragile. This is why we've seen a massive shift toward personal readiness. For those in disrupted zones or those planning for the what-if, tactical first aid and trauma kits equipped with high-grade tourniquets and hemostatic dressings are no longer just for professionals. They are basic disaster prep. If the grid goes down or communication lines are cut, a high-capacity portable power station paired with solar panels becomes your lifeline to keep essential electronics running. And never underestimate the basics. Emergency solar hand crank radios are the gold standard for staying informed when the internet goes dark. Because in a crisis, information and power are the two things you can't afford to lose.
The Strait of Hormuz and global energy choke points? While the missiles fly in Lebanon, a different kind of pressure is being applied in the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranian government just introduced unprecedented insurance regulations for every commercial vessel navigating that strait. Think about that. This is one of the world's most critical energy choke points, where a massive portion of the world's petroleum and gas passes every single day. Iran is now requiring shipping lines to have specific, state-sanctioned insurance documents just to pass through. Analysts see this as a calculated move to gain economic leverage and potentially extract shipping tariffs. What does this mean for you? Higher marine insurance premiums, more operational overhead for freight carriers, and inevitable delays in the global energy supply chain. This is exactly why deals like the one the Vital Group just struck in Zambia are so controversial. They secured an exclusive emergency deal to supply diesel to Zambia through a critical regional pipeline. But the IMF is already breathing down their necks about transparency and long-term debt. If you are running a fleet or an agricultural operation that depends on diesel, you know that price spikes and supply interruptions are the enemy. To protect what you have, anti-siphon fuel locking caps and heavy-duty diesel fuel transfer pumps are becoming essential for remote operations when you actually need it. If you're storing fuel long-term to hedge against these global spikes, you'll want fuel stabilizers and conditioners to prevent microbial growth and keep that diesel usable when you actually need it. The digitization of warfare. While the energy markets scramble, the way war is actually fought is undergoing a digital transformation. Look at Ukraine. They just launched the Army Plus app. This isn't just another app. It's a streamlined regulatory framework that allows soldiers who were absent without leave to formally return to duty via a secure mobile interface. By removing the old-school bureaucracy and replacing it with mobile verification, they are recovering personnel and tracking deployments in real time. This is part of a global trend where military logistics are moving onto our smartphones. But when your phone is a tool of war, the hardware has to keep up. We're seeing a surge in demand for military-grade rugged smartphone cases and anti-glare ballistic screen protectors that can survive the front lines. If you're out in the field, a high-capacity solar power bank is the only way to ensure your digital recruitment tool doesn't die in the middle of a mission. And it's not just the soldiers on the ground, it's what's in the air. Ukrainian drone swarms recently targeted areas around Moscow, revealing massive gaps in Russian air defenses. Analysts noted the response was an uncoordinated scramble. Ukraine is using low-cost, mass-produced carbon fiber drones to overwhelm multi-billion-dollar defense networks. For the tech enthusiasts following this, commercial FPV drone building kits are the best way to understand the mechanics of these low-altitude flight paths. If you're interested in the defensive side, radio frequency signal analyzers are how you identify and measure the wireless transmissions that these swarms rely on.
4. The hidden chemical danger in your pocket. Now, let's pivot to something that affects you every time you go to the grocery store. We all remember when bisphenol A, BPA, was banned from water bottles and receipts in 2020. Well, the industry switched to bisphenol S, BPS, and the news isn't good. Toxicological assessments show that BPS might actually be worse than BPA. It's an endocrine disruptor that mimics estrogen and messes with your hormones and reproductive health. The scariest part? It's highly transdermal. Just 10 seconds of touching a thermal cash register receipt is enough for your body to absorb problematic levels of this chemical through your skin. If you run a retail business, it's time to look at phenol-free thermal receipt paper. For cashiers and workers handling these documents all day, medical-grade nitrile disposable gloves or even organic cotton finger cots provide a necessary chemical barrier. And for everyone else, a natural detoxifying skin cleanser with charcoal can help remove those chemical residues before they settle in. 5. Artificial intelligence and the future of truth. In the tech world, Amazon just made a massive move with Bedrock Agent Core. They've integrated a managed web search tool that allows AI agents to conduct real-time searches. Why does this matter? Because it solves the biggest problem with large language models, the knowledge cutoff. Now, AI can verify facts against live web data, which drastically reduces those hallucinations where the AI just makes things up. If you're a developer or a business analyst trying to keep up with this, you need the right environment. High-performance AI development workstations with high VRAM graphics cards are becoming the standard for anyone running local models. To manage the complex data flows, an ultra-wide 4K computer monitor is a game-changer for seeing your entire architecture at once. Constitutional showdowns and diplomatic friction. Back in the US, a major legal battle is heading to the Supreme Court over gun accessories, specifically suppressors and high-capacity magazines. A federal appeals court just created a circuit split, and the big question is, do these accessories count as arms under the Second Amendment? Proponents say they are integral for safety and operation. Critics say they are distinct from the firearms themselves. Whatever the court decides, it's going to reshape firearm manufacturing in America forever. While the lawyers argue, safety remains the priority for owners. Premium electronic hearing protection earmuffs that suppress gunfire noise while amplifying speech are the current standard for the range. And for home safety, biometric quick-access firearm lockboxes are the best way to ensure legal and secure storage. On the international stage, things just got awkward between the US and Italy. President Trump claimed Italian Premier Giorgia Meloni begged him for a photo. Italy called the comment disrespectful to their sovereignty, and their top diplomat actually canceled a trip to the US in protest. It's a reminder of how quickly personalized rhetoric can disrupt a NATO alliance. For those who want to understand the deep history of these transatlantic relationships, modern European politics and history books are a great place to start. And if you want to channel a bit of that Italian defiance, there's nothing like a high-end Italian espresso machine to bring a bit of that engineering excellence into your own kitchen. Finally, let's talk about the money and the planet. Aecon Group, a giant in North American infrastructure, is about to drop its Q2 results. Because they do everything from civil engineering to nuclear power, their report is a bellwether for the entire economy, especially how inflation and supply chain logistics are hitting project timelines. For the finance pros tracking these metrics, an ergonomic dual-monitor office setup is essential for juggling spreadsheets and market data. And for the high-level meetings, a professional leather portfolio binder still sends the right message of executive readiness. On the greener side of things, the Taylor Southwind project in British Columbia just signed a 30-year agreement.
What makes this special is that it's a joint venture with the Salto First Nations, ensuring that Indigenous communities have a real equity stake in the clean energy transition. If you're looking to bring that kind of renewable energy to your own home, residential wind turbine generator kits and grid-tie inverters are becoming more accessible for supplementary home power. To see if your property is even a candidate, a digital wind speed anemometer can give you the real-time data you need before you invest.